Well, that was supposed to be a 10-minute walk and it ended up being about an hour and a bit. Let's go look at some more of the destruction though. Fucking hell, it's a fucking tree. That's going to have been out at sea an awful long time. All these marks in it are things that would have lived in it. Try and stand it up, maybe? Okay, that weighs a couple of 100 kilos. It's wood full of water, I should have known. Oh, fuck! Jesus, I didn't see that coming. Oh, no, this is the bit that I used to ride through. I can't get through so easy anymore. Yeah, so you can see the beach has completely been sculpted around here. The sea's been coming in and ripping the beach out. This used to be one continuous bank. You know what it used to look like. I'm not going to be able to get around here. Yeah, I'll do it. Gee, you're just getting stuck, not even moving. Yeah, this one was full. As you can see, the tide line was up here. This was pretty freaking deep. These are all underwater. You know, if anything goes to show you the power of the sea, it should be the things you're seeing here. You know, 'cause it really makes me laugh when I see people really just playing with the sea. You know, there was that, was on the front of the Daily Mail, thrill seekers like play with 50-foot waves. Quite easily, right there, if they'd been taken out, that group of like 15, 20 people, there would have been 15, 20 dead. No one would get out of that sea alive. No chance. Don't care how strong a swimmer you are, nothing. It is not going to happen. And a lot of people really don't hold the sea in a good enough respect to realise how dangerous it is and how quickly it can kill you. I mean, there is no jokes about this. You can get killed very easily. Even on what looks like a relatively calm day, you know. Go down to the beach, taking some pictures or something. And you just got to get your feet taken out from under you. You get pulled into the sea, you're in the breakers. A couple of minutes, you're dead if you can't get out. And trust me, you can get stuck in the breakers in a couple of feet of sea. It has killed people and will kill people again. Of course, I've always been brought up next to the sea on boats and things like that. So, you know, it's been drummed into me that you do not fuck with the sea. And it happens every time there's storms, particularly bad ones. People completely disrespect the sea. They don't realise that it's not some predictable, tame thing. It's not like a freaking swimming pool. One minute you could have like 2-foot waves, and the next minute you will have like an 8-foot wave just come from fucking nowhere. And that's the one that gets people, because they think, oh look, the sea's only coming to here. That's like when I have to leg it suddenly. I'm walking along a normal path. Every now and then you have what isn't technically a freak wave in the sense of what real freak waves are, which is just huge waves that appear from nowhere. It's just the rhythm of the sea. It's just what happens. If you've lived by the sea your whole life, you are probably like me and lots of other people who live on the coast who just know the sea is something you don't mess around with. When it's in the right mood, you know, you can go and have a swim in that. But you also have to choose the right places to go for a swim and the right times. If I want to swim, I go where I go looking on the beach, you know, a bit further down from there, because there is a big sandbank. And you can walk out when it's at low tide for fucking miles, well not miles, but you know, quite a long way, without it getting particularly deep. And the currents are predictable. Now there is a place on the island where there's rip tides, and they're called rip tides because when they go out, they really rip out, are so powerful you wouldn't believe it. I mean, like, boats can't even go against it. You couldn't swim against it, it's impossible. Even, as I say, even the boats have to, like, either go sideways through it or just sit there trawling. They're like, their engines are going really quickly and they're getting about 1 mile an hour forwards. You can see where the seas come through here. Now this is coming up to the bit that was badly flooded. So anyway, going back, yeah, there's riptides. I stopped a couple of kids who kept jumping into the sea on this sort of piece of rock where the tide was ripping around it, and there was like a little eddy, a nice little calm bit. And they kept jumping in there, grabbing onto this rope and letting themselves get pulled out into the rip, and then getting back up and doing it again. They were about 11 or 12, and their parents didn't know where they were or what they were doing. They could have very easily lost their son like that on that day because of their stupidity of letting their children go off and play with an extremely dangerous thing. I mean, fuck, you wouldn't go on a safari on your own, would you? Well, in the situation they were in, it was a 50-50 chance, or maybe even just a matter of time before one of them got caught by it. Well, I basically explained to them why what they were doing was very dangerous, and fair play to them, they did actually listen, and they came out, and I said to them, go and tell your parents what you've been doing. So I hope they did, and hopefully their parents will realise how dangerous it was and rip their little fucking heads off. Yeah, as you can see, the sand and the shit, this was all flooded. Let's go up here. Holy fuck. See, these are the floodgates they put in. This is supposed to keep the sea out, because, you know, it would never get higher than these. Well, no, it came straight up the fucking top of that lot. Yeah, and under the shingle, as you can now see, they put, years ago, and more recently, all these massive rocks that are supposed to protect the beach. This is the sea defences, that they then cover with sand. Fuck! It just fell down a hole. There's fucking steps down there I have never seen before in my life. Technically I shouldn't be up here, apparently the beach is closed, but nah. That is mad. They buried steps and stuff that were there before. I didn't know anything about this, and they're there again, because they've been dug up. That must have been like 8-10 foot deep. I've seen a video on YouTube of someone stood here around here during the floods. You'll probably find Hanging Island floods, you'll probably find loads of videos, and literally got the sea coming straight across over next to them, and all it would have taken is for the beach to give a little bit. They would have fallen in, they would have been dead. Their friends might have tried to go in after them, they would have been dead. At least the council was actually doing their job to clean the place up. Of course, all these people's houses would have been flooded. They've got their carpets out, furniture, poor fuckers. But then you live there, it's the risk you take. Yeah, one thing actually that some of the people I know do, have done, and probably will do again, and I rip their heads off for it every time, is they get pissed up during the summer, and they go and have a swim in the sea. I can remember this was full of water. Oh, now it's full of sand. This must be what accumulated in this car park alone. It was the saying, yeah. They get pissed up in the summer and they go for a swim in the sea. Drunk people in the sea at night. If you die, or swept out to sea, do you see that? I was nearly swept out. It's your own fucking fault, and I have no sympathy for you whatsoever. And I know it's harsh to say that, but with some of the other people as well that are stupid enough to go and stand on the beach, if you go and do that, fine. If you die, it's your fault, and sympathy will be hard to find. Thankfully, where I live is actually high ground, or higher ground. There is very, very little risk of it getting flooded. If we got flooded, well then everyone else would be pretty much. So as I say, you should enjoy the sea if you're near it. You should definitely get down there, have a look. Even around the stormy times, go to have a look, but do it from a safe distance, or wait till everything's calmed down and then go and have a look. But just remember that it isn't tame. You know, if you go put yourself in a risky time and a risky place, you're probably looking at a 50-50 chance of whether you're actually going to make it through. Because there isn't much chance, if you do make a mistake and get knocked in, of you getting back out again, alive. Or ever found. And that's some of the worst things for families, the fact that you get washed out to sea and they don't know what ever happened to you. Stay safe, enjoy the beach, and I'll catch you next time. Whose freaking dog is this? Or have I just gained a dog? Oh, I've gained a dog! Hello dog, are you mine now? Shall we walk this beach together, shall we?